A very warm welcome again, children. So, in the last session, we have completed with our chapter number 5, that is data handling. So, today, children, similar related to all the topics, that is graph, we are going to start with our next chapter, that is chapter number 15, Introduction to Graphs. Now children, graphs, you may have seen different types of graphs in newspaper, in magazines, in television, right? So many types of graphs are there, and these graphs are basically used to show the numerical facts, okay, in the visual form, okay, so that it can be understood easily, quickly, and clearly. Okay, so looking at the graph, it will be very easy for us to understand what is the data, right children? So graphs are nothing but the visual representation of the data collected. So we have already learned many types of graphs in our previous chapter, children. Let us quickly recall all the types of graphs which we have learned till now, and then we will proceed with the new topic. So let us begin, children. The first graph which we have already learned is a bar graph, children. So in the previous classes also you have learned bar graph. A bar graph is used to show comparison among categories. It may consist of two or more parallel, vertical or horizontal bars. So in the previous standard, children, you have already learned how to draw a bar graph using a vertical bars or how to draw using a horizontal bars both. And then one example we will see quickly on this. So you can see there is a graph on your screen. So on the x-axis it is showing the term, that is first term, second term and third term. And on the y-axis, children, you can see it is showing the marks in mathematics. So looking at the graph, we can say that the graph is showing the marks of mathematics of a child, of a particular child. And we can also see that the child has improved a lot in all the like first term and second term and third term, right? Continuously there is increase in marks, mathematics marks. So hence, looking at this picture, that this graph, it will be very easy for us to understand the data, right children? So the bar graph shows Anu's mathematics marks in the 3 terminals, and it helps us to compare her performance easily. Just now I told the performance is continuously increasing, right? She has shown a good progress. And in the first term, we can also say that the marks in mathematics were 25. In the second term, it was 30. And in the third term, it was 45. So this is how we have already learned to draw the bar graph as well as to read the bar graph. So here once again there is an example of bar graph, but the difference you can see is that it is a double bar graph, right children? There are 2 bars you can see. One is darker shaded and the other one is light shade, right? So dark shade bars tell us about the data on Monday, and the light shade part tell us about the data on the Tuesday, which is represented over here on the top, right? So on the x-axis, different fruits are shown, children, like mango, apple, orange, pineapple and banana, right? And on the y-axis, you can say it is showing the sales in kg. That means it is showing on Monday sales in kg of different fruits as well as on Tuesday. So here we can also compare that on which day the sale of a particular fruit was greater. Like Monday, I can see the mango fruit was, the sale of the mango fruit was less compared to Tuesday, right children? So looking at the graph itself, we can understand the data, right? We can easily understand, and it will be very clear for us if it is represented in a graphical way. So bar graphs can also have double bars. This graph gives the comparative account of sales in kg of various fruits over 2-day period, that is Monday and Tuesday. I hope this is clear. Next one we have already studied in our last chapter, that is data handling, children. How to read the pie chart and how to draw the pie chart, right? It is also known as a circle graph. So a pie graph or a circle graph is used to compare parts of a whole. So a whole circle is shown, the circle is a whole part in which we are using different sectors for the given data. The circle represents the whole. So this is one example, children. Looking at the pie chart or pie graph itself, we can say, okay, this is given about the different categories which people loves to see on the television, that is news. So 15% of the people like to see news. Then entertainment 50%, then sports 25%. Okay, so it shows the percentage of viewers watching different types of TV channels. So this was our pie chart, children, which we have already studied. Next one, a histogram, which we have already covered. Then histogram is a bar graph that shows data in intervals. What is the difference between the bar graph and histogram? That also I have told you, children. It has adjacent bars over the intervals. There is no gap between the bars. Okay, and on the x-axis it represents the class intervals, right, children? And here there is a broken line also, if you can see, that shows that between 0 to 40 there is no data. Okay, the histogram illustrates the distribution of weights in kg of 40% of a locality, and you can see that it is given in the class interval frequency distribution table, that is 40 to 45 weight there are 4 people, 45 to 50 there are 12 people. Okay, so this is how it is represented in a form of a histogram. I hope this is clear. Now this chapter we are going to learn one more type of a graph, that is a line graph, children. A line graph displays data that changes continuously over a period of time. When Renu fell sick, one example we are taking here, her doctor maintained a record of her body temperature taken even every 4 hours. Okay, we may call this a temperature graph. Alright, so here you can see there is one chart, there is one table where time is taken, okay, and temperature at that time. So at 6 a.m. the temperature of Renu was 37, okay, degree Celsius it is. 10 a.m. it was 40, 2 p.m. it was 38, and 6 p.m. it was 35. So how basically it is shown using the line graph, let us see. So now you can see, children, we have first taken the x-axis and y-axis. On x-axis we have taken time, that is 6, 10, 2 and 6 p.m. And here we have taken 30, 32, directly 30 because my data starts from 30 degree, right? So 30, 32, 34, 36, 38 and 40 and 42. Right, and here it is shown a broken line which shows from 0 to 30 degree Celsius there is no as such data recorded, right? So at 6 p.m. children, sorry 6 a.m. children, you can see what was the temperature. I will show you again. At 6 a.m. it was 37 degrees Celsius. So at 6 a.m. children it will be 36. After that one more line I'll take, that will be 37. Okay. At 10 a.m. it is 40 degrees Celsius. At 2 p.m. it is 38 degrees Celsius, and at 6 p.m. it is 35 degrees Celsius. Right? So this is how dots are taken for that particular data, and after doing this each piece of data is shown by a point on the square grid, and after that the points are then connected with the line segment. Now you can see over here in this second graph all the dots are joined using the line segments. So this is how our line graph is drawn, children. Okay, so later on you will learn this drawing also and reading also. We will start with our exercise. At that time, children, you will understand it in a better way. So let us begin. This is exercise 15.1, question number 1. The following graph shows the temperature of a patient in a hospital recorded every hour. So a few questions are given based on the graph, children. Graph is already drawn for you. So no need to draw once again in your book, okay, or a graph paper. So you will be not drawing this graph. Only you will be writing the question answers in your classwork. So already graph is given to you. Let us see what it is. First let us study the line graph given. So here you can see it is taken time on the x-axis, and on the y-axis you can see it is taken temperature in degrees Celsius. And 0 to 34 there is no data, so it is shown by a broken line or jagged line. Okay. Now children, at 9 a.m. at 9 a.m. temperature was, after 35 there is directly 36. That means this middle line shows 35.5, right? So it was 35.5 degrees Celsius. Next one, at 10 a.m. it was 36 degrees Celsius. Next, at 11 a.m. it was 39 degrees Celsius. Next, at 12 noon it was 38.5 degrees Celsius. And next, at 1 p.m. it was 36.5. Again you can see, children, there is no change in the temperature over here. That is 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. the temperature was constant, that is 36.5. Okay. There is no up and down in the line. It's a straight line, children, you can see here. And then afterwards at 3 p.m. it raised to 37. So this was our graph. Okay. Now the few questions are based on this graph given. Let us see what are the answers for that. First one is, what was the patient's temperature at 1 p.m.? So where is our 1 p.m. children? Here, right? So this line, if I see ahead here, I go up. Where is my point? It is at 36.5 degrees Celsius. So the first answer will be 36.5 degrees Celsius. The patient's temperature was 36.5 degrees Celsius at 1 p.m. Let us move ahead with the second question. What was the patient's temperature at 38.5 degrees Celsius? When was the patient's temperature 38.5 degrees Celsius? So let us come here on the y-axis. This is 38 and 38 point will be the next line. So this line is coming here, the point. So it is at 12 noon. Can you see this? It is at 12 noon. The temperature of the patient is 38.5. So you will write the answer, the second answer, as the patient's temperature was 38.5 degrees Celsius at 12 noon. Let us move to next one. The patient's temperature was the same 2 times during the period given. What were these 2 times? So I have already explained here. You can see there is a straight line, no up and down in the temperature. So it is at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. where the temperature was same of the patient, right? That was 36.5 degrees Celsius. So you can write the answer, third one. The patient's temperature was same at 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. Next one. What was the temperature at 1:30 p.m.? How did you arrive at your answer? So 1:30 p.m. children means it will be obviously between 1 to 2 p.m. in the center, right? So the center line over here, this line you can see, children, it is of 1:30 p.m. It is the center line of 1 and 2. So this line is again where you can see the point is 36.5, where there was no fluctuation in the temperature. So we can say that 1:30 p.m. the temperature was 36.5. So you can see here the temperature at 1:30 p.m. is 36.5 degrees Celsius. And how do we reach to our answer? The point between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. the x-axis is equidistance from the 2 points showing at 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. So it represents that 1:30 p.m. Similarly, The point on y-axis between 36 degrees Celsius, 37 degrees Celsius we represent as 36.5 degree Celsius. I hope this is clear, children. So next one is the last one. During which periods did the patient temperature showed an upward trend? So where during which periods did the patient temperature was rising? Okay, so you can see here now this line is also in a rising form, right children? It is going upward. So from 9 to 10 you can see it is going upward. Again from 10 to 11 p.m. also a.m. sorry, it is going again upward. Okay, so it is from 9 to 10, 10 to 11, or you can also say 9 to 11 a.m. Now here it is coming downward. Okay, here it was constant. Now from here it is going again upward, children. That is from 2 to 3 it is again in a increasing form, right? So where it is 3 times we have seen the temperature is in a increasing, that is upward trend. That is 9 to 10, 10 to 11 and 2 to 3. So you will write answer. The patient temperature showed an upward trend from 9 to 11 directly, or write 9 to 10, 10 to 11 and then 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. So these are the answers children for question number 1. I hope you would have copied this in your classwork, children. Okay, so no need to copy the graph, only answers you will write in your classwork. Give the exercise number and question number properly. That's it, children. We will stop over here today. Okay, in the next session again we will continue with our same exercise, that is exercise 15.1. Thank you.